The rip-off republic. Right! We're going to head into the centre of the Kingdom of Dublin. Now, the Kingdom of Dublin was not just this city. The Kingdom of Dublin was the whole east coast of Ireland. It was the Isle of Man. It was all of the Scottish Islands. And it was also the city of York in northern England. Ruled first by Ivar the Boneless and then by his descendants. For over 300 years, the largest Viking settlement outside of Scandinavia. Larger than the Danelaw in England. Larger than any in Europe. Larger than Novgorod and larger than Kiev. And it was ruled from right here. What are you looking at? Are you listening? You have to pay me. Give me a fiver, I'll tell you a story. Huh? Unbelievable. Oh, look at this one. Hey, stop taking pictures. There's children on board. That's illegal. You're a weirdo. I know what you're up to. Call the guards. Call the guards. Priest in drag. Right. You see the archway there? The archway is not part of the original structure. That wasn't built until the 1800s, during a time in Ireland which we call an Ochras Mór, translation, the Great Hunger. And it was built by the Archbishop of Dublin because the poor people of Dublin used to beg at the doors and the gates, and he didn't want to walk amongst them. The church, fantastic. Nothing really changes. Hey! Morning! Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Over here's Dublin, our wonderful medieval exhibition. There's one of our longboats there. And this was the centre of Dublin. In 1972, we excavated a site here and we discovered over 2 million artifacts of Danish and Viking origin. And then our government, in their wisdom, gave planning permission for these buildings to be built. There was great protests, 20,000 man marches. They gave us 1 year to excavate the site and then the foundations were laid. According to archaeologists, there could still be another 500,000 beneath there. Thank you very much, Mr. Hoy. You don't know who Charles Hoy was? He was one of our Taoiseachs. Taoiseach is the Irish word for Prime Minister. Although the direct translation of Taoiseach from Irish to English, it means thief. Sorry, no, chief. And if you don't know who Charles Hoy was, he was like a cross between Boris Johnson and Stalin. Right, lads, we're going to head on to the north side of Dublin. I don't know what you've heard, but hold on to your wallets, okay? That's the forecourts over there on the left-hand side. They built the courts on the north side of the city purely for convenience. I just get a dart from Kilbarrack. And there's a Lewis from Talon now.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. Very handy.
Very handy.
We're going to cross over the River Liffey, River Brunswick Street, who became a great leader. A great thinker, a rebel, and a martyr of the 1916 Irish Rebellion. His name, of course, was Padraig Pearse. So this street is now called Pearse Street. That's his old school over there, St. Andrew's National School and Resource Centre, built in 1895. I know that because it says it on the front. And that's the school that Padraig Pearse attended. It still runs as a school and the resource centre. And also in 1919, that building became the very first headquarters of the Irish Republican Army. Now when I say Irish Republican Army, I'm not talking about the lads that were active in the 70s, 80s and 90s. Remember they kept changing their name. Provisional IRA, Continuity IRA, Real IRA. I can't believe it's not the IRA. The artist formerly known as the IRA. 1, 2, 3. How are you lads? Look over here, look, it's the Mint Tail factory. Now that's the Lear Academy of Acting. That's where people like Saoirse and Killian and Donald studied. There's some posh people. Hello posh people! How are you? £7 for a croissant. Unbelievable. They're sitting there, oh God, I can't believe they're breathing the same air as us. Right. Great parking, this is. On your right hand side here, Boland's Flour Mills. Beautiful 19th century buildings, listed building. The Irish Republican Brotherhood held this building the longest during the 1916 rebellion. They're not allowed to touch the outside, only for cleaning. Inside are now luxury offices and apartments that belong to the group. Studios, once on YouTube, also used by people like David Bowie, the Rolling Stones, AC/DC, Kate Bush, Roger Waters, Lady Gaga, me. Fantastic studio. Woo! Right, we're nearly there. Are you ready? That's W-E-S-H-T, because that's how they talk in the West. Isn't that right? And they were the Norwegian Vikings, and they founded places like Wexford. In the Irish language, we call the Norwegians on Finn Gaul. Finn meaning fair or blonde, and Gaul meaning stranger or foreigner. That's why we have a county, Fingal, on the north side of Dublin, named after the Norwegians. Now the Swedish, what did they do? The Swedes, they did nothing. They stayed at home in Sweden, and they invented IKEA, and made life hell for men all over the world. Tala, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? 7 hours in Ballybourne last week. Oh, I came out with a cushion, she has me heart broke. Now, as we all turn the corner here, if you look to your right hand side, can you see this? You will all see how ridiculous we look. Give yourselves a wave, lads! Gorgeous! Excellent. Now, the Kingdom of Dublin and the City of Dublin was founded by 2 Danish kings. One was called Olaf the White, the other was called Ivar the Boneless. I won't tell you why it's called boneless, there's children on board. Well, you know what I'm talking about, sir, don't you? It's okay, we get little bills for that, fantastic. Now, they're free here in America. Now, and on the NHS. Hey! By the time the Norsemen got to Ireland, the people living on this island, they were called Gaels. Not Celts, Gaels. There's a big difference. I shall explain later. For the duration of this journey, which is 75 minutes to 3 hours, depending on traffic, we haven't made any plans. You're all going to be Vikings, okay? What are you? Vikings! Excellent! And everybody outside of this vehicle is a horrible, dirty, stinking, smelly, ugly Gael. Right? They don't like us. And we don't like them. But unfortunately, due to EU regulations, we're not allowed to kill them anymore. Huh? So what do we do instead? What do? We roar at them! It's the best we could come up with at short notice. But it's a very special Viking roar. First of all, everybody puts their arms up in the air like this. Everybody, come on! Then you make the ugliest face you can! Italy's already doing it, good man, sir. And when I count to 3, we'll roar your head off. A hen, a door, a tree! Yeah, okay, we'll work on that. Don't worry, it's only 18 meters deep. This is the Grand Canal Basin, over 200 years old. Took 49 years to build, just to dig it out. There's only 2 employees and 1 shovel. And ships from all over the world used to come through those lock gates there and dump the cargo here, which would then be collected by barges, taken up the Grand Canal and delivered all over the country using the canal system before the railway was built. The first thing international sailors would encounter once they got into this basin all around here were gallows. That's how the British warned international sailors not to mess about in their cities. They would put the gallows by the ports. And of course, back then, Dublin was the second city of the British Empire. Some of the buildings have the old facades of what they actually look like, obviously without the glass doors and windows. And this window over here, the circular window, it's got a logo in it. Anybody know what this logo is? Huh? Airbnb. That's the headquarters of Airbnb, so when you complaints, that's where you go, lads, alright? We have a lot of international headquarters in this area. Mainly tech and software. In a 4-kilometre radius of this basin, we have the offices and headquarters of Facebook, Instagram, Google, Apple, Microsoft, Intel, LinkedIn, Twitter, Tinder, WhatsApp, Accenture, blah, 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 blah. I could go on for about 10 minutes. Why do we have so many? 3 reasons. The first reason, the obvious one, tax. Lowest corporation tax in Europe, only 12.5%. However, it is now being raised to 15%. That's not stopping the Yanks coming here.